say hello to. The 5200 is one of the least liked second generation consoles. Sure, it was powerful for its day, but shipped with some pretty severe defects. Still, it's a console worth looking at, and it has an interesting story to tell. Atari, even in their early days, knew that the VCS was going to be outclassed spec-wise soon enough. So after releasing it, they immediately went to work on a successor. They were able to hobble together a pretty advanced system for its day, but the specs made it a touch pricey for a video game console. Thus, they initially cranked out the Atari 400/800 computers to put the tech to use around 1980, while Atari focused on miniaturizing the hardware and making it more cost-effective. They managed to get out the door in 1982, and it still blew away Atari's most technologically advanced rival, the Intellivision. However, no one ever imagined the new challenger about to appear, nor what they would bring to the table. The 5200 ended up launching about the same time as the ColecoVision, and this machine was no joke. It had specs as good, if not better. It also had the ability to play Atari 2600 games without a special adapter, and, most importantly, it had Donkey Kong. The industry simply did not know what hit it, and the lack of backwards compatibility would hit the 5200 hard. Atari tried to sue Coleco's pants off over the adapter, but since it was built from off-the-shelf parts, the court ruled in Coleco's favor. In response, Atari quickly scrapped together a contraption to play Atari 2600 games on the 5200, but required the console to be modded to work. The lack of backwards compatibility and Donkey Kong weren't the only things dragging the console down, however. It was huge and bulky, and had a bizarre AV setup. However, its Achilles heel would be its infamous controller. While packing several features ahead of their time, the blasted thing broke when you sneezed on it, and the analog sticks didn't self-center. Even with refurbished, improved controllers, most of the 5200 titles played terribly with it. The console couldn't overcome these handicaps and died during the Great Crash of 1983. The console itself is actually pretty durable, and they go pretty cheaply by themselves. But the controllers are a different story. Make damn sure you either test the thing out or at least get a guarantee on it, because they break super easy and are expensive to replace. The most common version uses this odd switch box, so make sure it works as well. These do break reasonably often. Finally, you need its AC adapter, which isn't exactly plentiful, but attainable at least. The trackball controller is pretty awesome, and if you're rocking the 2-port model, you could always spring for the 2600 adapter. Outside of emulators, the only way to play 5200 games is on Atari home computers, as since the specs were nearly identical, many 5200 games have ports on the 8-bit Atari family. While the 5200 has some good arcade ports, there are a few exclusive titles, and fewer you would still want to put up with the system's gamepad to play. Unless you have a huge nostalgic boner for this beast, you should probably dig up a 7800 instead.